Okay, today we're going to be using Kandinsky as our inspiration. Hopefully we've had a chance to look at some of his work. This is a story about him as a child, how he actually could hear colors when he was, could hear them, which is weird. Like, I don't hear colors when I paint with them, but I think that's so cool. So one of the things he's famous for is concentric circles, and that just means repeated circles. So he would make a circle and he would paint around it and around it and around it. And he did something similar to this, only it was all circles. We're going to use hearts because of the time of year it is. And we're just going to be exploring watercolors. Oh, I guess I should show you this. So one of the really important things about watercolors is how much water you use, because otherwise it'll bleed into other colors. And that's what we're going to try to avoid today, but expect that it may still happen to you because it's really a challenging art medium, but so rewarding when you do have success. Okay, so in order to do this, we need to have a piece of paper that has 8 boxes on it. So to get those 8 boxes, you're going to take and fold a piece of paper 3 times. Okay, first fold, you just fold it in half like a book, and that'll give you 2 boxes, right? If we turn and fold it again like a book, that will give us twice as many, so double it. 2 times 2, I should have 4 boxes, okay? And then if I fold it one more time, so 3 folds, like a book, and this one's a little bit more challenging. It doesn't have to be perfect, it's just, you just want to give yourself a space to paint in. And do crease that kind of hard. If you can't do it with your fingernail, take a pencil, kind of run it along those fold lines. So you have a nice crisp line there to use. 3 folds, when I open this up, should give me 8 boxes to paint in. And there you have it, I have 8 boxes. Now, I want to paint hearts, and some of you are probably great at drawing your own hearts, but if you're not, find a piece of scratch paper, fold it in half, cut yourself out a nice symmetrical heart. I'm just going to find the fold line here and cut half of a heart, right? The half of a heart shape. When I open this up, if it's on the fold line, that'll give me a whole heart shape. Okay, and there I have it. There's my heart. I'm going to make that a little bit skinnier because I know this is narrow here. I'm going to actually just go in just a little bit tighter there. Make it a skinnier heart. And when I see I have a kind of a bump there, I don't want that. So it's just, you know, diagonal line, curve around, and then come back. Your diagonal here should be similar to this one here. I might cut that one in just a little bit deeper. Okay. Once you have that, throw your scraps away, and then I want you to use this, if you need to, use this as a little tracer. Now, I taught this to one class, and I said press really light on your pencil so that we don't really see your pencil line after you've painted it. And almost everybody just took their pencil and really traced around that hard. So sketching and drawing, 2 different things. If I'm sketching this, I'm just going to very ever so lightly put my pencil on here and kind of just lightly draw it around, because I know that in the end I don't want to really know that's there. Now if you do happen to accidentally do this really dark, and I'm going to go ahead and do it darker just so you can see. If you do it really dark, then I hope when you're using your watercolors, you'll pick a dark color to paint over that pencil line so we don't see it, okay? Just make it disappear. All right, so you're going to make a little heart shape in the center of each one of these, and that's just going to get you started. If you don't feel like you need this, then don't do it. If you want to just paint your own little heart in there, paint your own little heart in the center, okay? Now, the most important thing I can tell you about watercolor is that I want you to really pay attention to how much water you're using each time. So what is one method for getting the extra water or extra paint off of your paintbrush before you actually touch it to this paper is either have a paper towel next to you to touch it to, or have a piece of maybe a free draw paper that you can just touch it to get a little bit of that extra off. The other thing is you can take your brush in your water dish, and a lot of kids do this. This is full of water right now, but if I just brush it against the side, you'll see most of the water comes out. So if you have too much water, just brush it against the edge of your brush, or sorry, your dish, and most of that water, extra water, will go down in the dish. Okay, now before I paint today, I'm gonna just go ahead and wake up some of these. I can see some of them are already shiny, so that means they're awake, but I'm gonna do a little bit more water so I know that my paints are ready to go. I like them to be ready. If the person before you wasn't thoughtful and left this all dirty here, you may want to wake that up and clean it out a little bit so you have a mixing tray in case you want to mix some colors in there or make a lighter color. The way to make a lighter color with watercolors is just to add more water. So if I want to add more water to one of my colors, I need a place to do it, right? And you can see that the person that used this one wasn't very respectful. We've said before that when you're done, you should wipe this out if you use the mixing trays, and clearly that did not happen here. So there we go. I fixed the problem. Throw your scraps away. Throw your little tracer away, or share it with a friend at your table. If they want to use it, you could just share one, I guess. It would work out well too. Okay. Now we're ready to start painting. So this, for this, you may want to have two sizes of brushes. You can see here I have a small one and a larger one. This one's going to have a lot of water in it, so it's going to do a lot wider lines. Try to find ones that are kind of pointy, because that's going to give you a little bit more control with the watercolors too. I'm going to start with the big one just so you can see what happens. And remember, I did this one really dark, so I'm going to start with a dark color. I think I'm going to take purple and try to use just the very tip of your brush. If you push down all the way, it's going to spread out and be a really wide line. So the tip of your brush will give you a much more narrow line, and you can see that I pushed down more there. That's why my line is thicker. So I'm going to just push down a little bit more to try to even it up all the way around. Try to move around your paper. So while this is drying, I'm going to go paint something else purple, because I've got purple on my brush. I know I don't want to paint right next to that right now because that one's super wet. So I think I'm just going to paint this whole part purple instead of going around it. I'm going to paint it in purple. And I love purple, so I'll probably put purple, a little bit of purple in each one of these. I think for this one, I want the outside edges to be purple, so I'm going to just do the box. When you get closer to the edge, you will end up just painting the corners in, because you're going to run out of space to do the tip of your heart. You can see that when this gets down here, I won't be able to do that. And actually, these edges are going to get there faster than anything. So I'm just going to put this just around here. I know from experience that I'm going to end up having to paint this corner in like this. So I'm looking at this angle here. I'm going to end up painting this corner in, and I'm going to end up painting this corner in, whatever color my outside is, because I know what happens with the heart. And probably this corner will be rounded. Okay. Now that one's still wet, so I'm going to keep moving around. I think I'm going to do some dots here. You can create a line any way you want to make a line. Okay, you can make a solid line. You can make it be a dotted line. Dotted lines are a little tricky though, because if you put too much, they run into each other. So control the water. That's going to be our lesson for today, is controlling how much water you use. Too little and it'll be dry and scratchy and you won't get a nice smooth line. Okay, I feel like I'm ready to switch to another color now. Oh, actually no, I'm not. I could make a really tiny heart inside this one. I'll try to just go really small. And again, I'm having to use the tip of my brush, so I guess I should show you guys what happens if I press all the way down. I really don't want to, but I can fix it if I do make that mistake. Okay, so here's what would happen if I, let's see, we'll go right over here to this one. If I decide to push down hard on my brush, if I push down all the way, then it's going to make a big line like that. And I don't really want big lines like that, but if that happens to you because you forget and press down, don't worry about it. When it's dry, I can go in and put another color right on the edges of that, okay? All right, I'm going to switch to another color. Now, I know that my water is just slightly dirty here. I'm going to use my lighter colors first before my water gets really super dirty. So I think I better use some of this yellow. Now, remember, yellow and purple, ooh, I never want those to touch each other because they make brown, okay? So I'm going to try to stay away. And oh, I kind of dirtied up my yellow a little bit there. I think I'm going to clean that up. if yours gets dirty, because your water's dirty, and I think that's what happened to mine, you can go refresh your water at any time. Okay, just go dump it and get fresh water. See if I can get this better. Oh yeah, it's a little bit better. Maybe it was just in my brush. Yep, I bet it was. Okay, to clean this up though, if I don't like that, I can take a dry brush. So dry your brush on a paper towel or something, rinse, dry, and then brush. And it'll take a lot of that paint out. So if you have something happen that you don't like, a dry brush will pull up a lot of the extra paint. See how I'm getting a lot of that off of there? And then I could put cleaner paint back in. Like so. Okay. I'm going to let you guys just explore this, but yellow, if I want yellow to be next to purple, the trick to that is don't let it touch. So leave a little teeny white line. See how I'm going right next to my purple? But I'm not touching the purple. And I know that if I do accidentally touch the purple, it's going to run into my yellow and create like a brown bubble there. And then it'll bleed in. So I'm being really careful about. Oops, oh, that was close. I may get a little spill right there because those are actually touching. Okay, have fun. Your goal is to paint all the way to the edges. Let's find my example here. You want to paint all the way to the edges of each one of your squares. There should not be any white showing except maybe where you did a dotted line. Okay, all the way to the corners. You should have a rectangle that's full. I mean, should be able to fold this up and look at any one of your rectangles, and it should go all the way to the fold line. This looks like I missed my fold line a little bit here. But try to go right to your fold line. Okay, have fun painting.